Hello and welcome back, the Meducation Nation. My name is Krish Goyal. I'm a third year medic at Imperial College, London. Now today is an absolute banger of a video where I discuss how I utilize the iPad Pro and Apple Pencil in order to gain the upper hand in medical school. Now even if you aren't a medical student, I encourage you to sit down and watch this video because paperless learning, like I've said before, is going to be the way forward and you do not want to be left behind. Without further ado, let's get into the meat of the video. So why do I use the iPad? I use the iPad in order to take notes because note-taking helps me understand things, and once I understand them, I can then learn them. How do I take notes? Well, I love to handwrite my notes. I love the flexibility that is given with doing little diagrams, annotations, drawings, mind maps, arrows, colors. I love the flexibility that is brought with actually writing your notes rather than being that typer. However, I quickly realized that medical school is not the place for handwriting your notes on paper. Reason being is you're going to have reams and reams of it. It's going to be so disorganized and barely legible. So the iPad Pro offers me a hybrid between the organization afforded by typing my notes, but also the flexibility that is afforded by handwriting my notes. So on to the juicy stuff. How do I use it in lectures? What I do is I would import the PDF or the PowerPoint slides into Notability before the lecture, and then as the lecturer is going through his slides, I would simply write annotations. Now why I think this is useful, it's firstly because I found that in a lecture I would simply be typing away loudly. By typing, it's very quick, and because it's so quick, I ended up just transcribing everything the lecturer said without actually taking anything in. Now with writing, because you can't literally write down everything the lecturer says unless you are some form of superhuman, you literally have to distill the key points there and then. And by doing that, you are actually taking more of the lecture in. Furthermore, it's saving time rather than copying out the slides, so it's a lot more efficient. Also, I can directly take pictures in the lectures, so if the lecturer is very slow when it comes to uploading slides, I have all the information I need for my learning there and then. Now, another really cool feature that I like to do is I can directly import certain worksheets via an app called Scannable, and I can then import that directly into Notability. Now why is this good? Well, if your lecturer is stuck in the dark ages and gives you handouts, what I found is that all my handouts would get lost, no idea where they are, and I'd find them about 3-4 years later, crumpled up in the bottom of my bag, and I'd be like, oh, that would have been useful actually. So this allows me to keep an electronic copy of all my handouts, and I can fill it in on the iPad. So again, it helps with the organization aspect. Now clinics, this is where the iPad came into its own for me, and yes, it has saved me from many grillings by consultants and senior healthcare professionals. Reason being is I utilize the search feature. If they're like, Krish, tell me about, I don't know, atrial fibrillation, I'd be like, oh, this is quite tough, but I would simply type in on my iPad atrial fibrillation, and I would go boom, 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 all of everything from definition to management, and they'll be like, wow, Krish, you should be a doctor right now, and I'll be like, you know, I don't know where this wizardry is coming from, honestly. So it is really useful with that respect. Another amazing thing about it that I use in clinics is I can actually have 2 notes set up in one. So if they want to ask me one topic and then switch to the other topic, I can do a little quick swipe on my finger and I'll have 2 notes in one, which is really useful. Furthermore, I can actually add a Safari window. So if my notes don't cover it, Google will sure have my back. And also, just from a professionalism point of view, it looks a lot more professional when you're using your iPad in a clinic than if you're just banging out your phone, because you could be just texting your babes, for instance. Thank you very much for tuning in to another absolute banger of a video. Guys, run the drill, like, subscribe, share the video, and we'll be back next time for another top video. Education Nation, over and out.